And our next guest has been working on a very special bike for the event, transforming this, take a look, into this, a tribute to 1776, liberty and freedom. Wow. And it's being built, look at that. Lovely.
Is it finished?
Yeah, we're going to find out right now. Our next guest, former Navy SEAL and former FBI agent, author of the book Sheep No More, Jonathan Gilliam. So, Jonathan, you're almost out of time. You're still working on it there behind you?
Yeah, well, we got behind because we built a 1619 bike, but we drove that off a cliff, so that took a little bit of time out of the whole project. So yeah, listen. So we got into this, and then the Rolling Thunder came about, and so we kind of put ourselves on a deadline. And like anything, when you have a deadline, you're always going to run up against some things. Buddy from North Shore back here is helping me out with, or he's really the master of the ceremonies when it comes to building this thing. Well, okay, first of all, whenever Americans get together and celebrate for freedom and patriotism and stand together, that's one thing. But when you add the overall force and in the SEAL teams, we use a thing called violence of action, and that's really how you explain the sound of a Harley. When they show up with that many guys, men and women on Harleys, it's an overwhelming emotional feeling that you get when all these individuals show up for the right reasons with this power.
Hey, Jonathan, I know we had spoken to you about this before. There were some issues with like the meeting place for the rally in D.C. Is all that now been ironed out, so it's going to happen as we think?
From what I've heard, they're still going to show up. I haven't heard, which is very interesting because you heard about this issue with the Department of Defense, and that the mainstream media, of course, they never covered that. And I really haven't heard anything from the D.C. Rolling Thunder, so I don't really know. But listen, I'm assuming that a lot of these people are going to show up regardless. And I think, depending on the weather, that's the other thing. The weather may actually put a damper on all this stuff.
Yeah, he probably knows. He's just not he'd have to take us out if he told us. And Jonathan could.
Yes.
That's what scares me about Jonathan.
But never would. Never would.
Never would.
I would never know what happened. So it would be quick. But tell me, Jonathan, I'm not a motorcycle guy. I love seeing what everybody's doing. Can you give some stats on that so that anybody who can get a feel for what you're building there?
Right. So this is basically it was a 82 Harley Davidson FXB. It's got a shovel head, a 1340cc shovel head engine in it. And then, we've kind of taken this thing. It's a Santee frame. And I learned how to do metal work so I could build this fender. Buddy helped me with designing this, the strut and the sissy bar. And then my good friend Pete Irwin did the paint job. On the other side, it says Freeborn. He just did an amazing job. But this is all raw steel that's been hand sanded by yours truly for hours and hours to get this shine. And then it's going to be heated with a hair dryer. And then we coat it with a thing called frog glue, which was invented by another Navy SEAL for weapons. But you can also use it on raw steel to keep rust from appearing. So all this kind of still has to go into it. But as you can see, these things are really a work of art.
They are.
Once you get it,
it's beautiful.
And I'm learning a tremendous amount. It's really a work of art.
Beautiful. And it looks like 70% chance of rain tomorrow, 60% in D.C. But you know what?
Go anyway.
I think there's some folks who are still going to show up.
I'm a SEAL. If it was up to me, we'd still be showing up in the rain.
There you go.